wanna keep on starting a lap, be it Paris or be that Mona Lisa. Yeah, you're the one, you're the only Mona Lisa. Need to be seen, but I really wanna keep on starting a lap, be it Paris or be that Mona Lisa. Yeah, you're the one, you're the only Mona Lisa. Need to be seen, but I really wanna keep on starting a lap, be it Paris or be that Mona Lisa. Yeah, you're the one, you're the only Mona Lisa. Need to be seen, but I really wanna keep on starting a lap, be it Paris or be that Mona Lisa. Yeah, you're the Mona
He stays alive just long enough to get Shadow back in the game. It's really unfortunate too. They started off so hot and it just slipped on down.
Difficult because they need to sort of shift their focus now just to staying in the lobby, making sure that they can play on Friday at the very least. Peter Bottom Poyo don't have to worry about that whatsoever. They're continuing to plow on through this lobby. 4 eliminations now for them. They are living life on easy mode when it comes to actually qualifying through. They've got the job done more than happily, you have to imagine here as well, realistically. We come in. The fights as well, and you could see that Muzz and Sphinx falling right into his trap because he was almost ushering them into that position. You can see what it means though when you're on the opposite side of things. Muzz and Sphinx have to now separate. They've got to do things solo. Shark and Teeny looking to try and close on in. Shark looking for the shot, not connecting in that instance. 2 of the world's best fighters going head to head right now. Shark definitely you have to fancy in this situation. So many angles being covered, so many pieces being controlled, and Muzz is just trying to escape. He's trying to scurry away, but there's only so much you can do against Shark. He's got him in the box. He's got so many of those walls, but Muzz can escape right now, and this is the danger for Muzz. He doesn't have this piece control. He's trying to scurry away.
There was a point in time where Muzz would have been the fastest and most mechanical player in the world, but this new age and Shark and Teeny are just a different breed right now. Hey Muzz, we love you, we respect you. You're still in 4th place, but man, Shark and Teeny are looking different.
What's the difference? You know, we're not talking about first and last. We're not talking about first and 50. We're talking about first and 4th, right? Levels difference in terms of fighting ability. Shark showing exactly how far he has come and what he means here on this global stage. Had a little bit of a wobble in the last major. We didn't see a great performance from them in day 1. We didn't see the star-studded performance maybe some people were expecting out of them in the Major 1 Summit, in the traditional sort of FNCS track, but I think shaking off a lot of those nerves, particularly for Shark, making his first... best. It's what they're happy to do. It's where they feel most comfortable. As Malabuka looking to try and take out his EU counterpart.
A little classic.
Love that. Yeah, that's like OG Fortnite. Strats right there, isn't it?
Little classic. You love to see it. Back on over to Shark and Teeny as they are our muse for the time being here. Zone 6, where most teams are not going to be looking to do anything crazy. Shark and Teeny quite literally have nothing to lose at this point. They I doubt it though. 330 points, pretty strong lead they have right now. Need to happen twice, actually. If Pablo and Chino had an early fall like that twice, it could be really, really bad. So they're the first to fall inside of our top 7 duos.
For both of them, looking for that siphon, particularly on Malabuka to try and get their HP back up. It's all about building that confidence ready for them. Look at that though, Goofy and Z-Dog causing them trouble. Now Vico down to 9 HP, that ticking, that timer in all of the players' ears. Reboots now ended.
There it is. No more rebooting back into the game. This reload format keeps things super exciting though for us as teams are still fighting now. And if you get taken down, it's a worst case scenario for you. And then you have someone like Shark on your heels here. Teeny's gonna go ahead and finish up Phoenix. Pressure coming in for the rest of the lobby. Teeny's very hurt. They have almost asked for the lobby to look this way. This is what happens. You get into too many fights here. Gotta be careful, but look at that. They buy themselves a little bit of time. Alex and Reckless likely steal the loot from down there. That'll be really good for them. Remember, they are dead last right now. They literally need something. They need a top 5.
It is time. It's time for them to show up right now. We haven't seen much from them throughout the day. They've not really shown us what they can do and what they have been doing on their home region. Peterbot and Poyo. We've seen them, of course, doing exactly what they do best in this game. Looking for height here again early on. Identified the fact that they can hold on to it. And Peterbot with the Mammoth in hand, looking to do so much damage, missing a couple of shots in quick succession, but hitting an... when you respawn on in, as we get to take a look at how that Mancini star-studded fight. Again, Shark having that piece control, having that ability to take them out, and another one. That's what Shark does. That's what he's built for. That's what he's made for.
For Lua, for Romero, this is their moment to break so far ahead that they can secure their way to the finals. Can they do something big here? Meanwhile, Malabuka Vico, of course, still keeping pace. The last time we tuned in with Vico, he had this low amount of HP, and it hasn't changed much since. Pump, though, the tournament is on your back, my friend. How far can you push it now? You are on and knocking on death's door, and down he goes inside a 10th. It was further than any other game, though, so at least he gave us a little bit of life here. Malabuka Vico, though, still in the game right now in the ultimate low ground here. just trying to find their footing.
Yeah, they're looking for a refresh right now. They need that Siphon, which they get. Malibuka, that's going to be huge to keep their hopes of staying in this game alive. But as I say, that Malibuka down, Shark and Teeny still flying high up in the sky. They are looking on down to the rest of the lobby. They want to close out yet another victory royale. These guys are running the show right now. They've taken out their direct competition. They don't want just first place. They want first place by an absolute mile. Liwa, Romero, they need to take advantage of Pablo and Chino going down earlier in the game. This is a huge game for them, but crucially, Monster, they're here as a duo.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, at this point, they're going to be able to spring and jump their way up the standings here. Just continue to kind of have that.
Of the storm, Romero, Lua, they are out. Sinks looking to try and make this game count, of course, as well. Teeny up on height. Goofy and Z-Dog trying to go for height. Teeny says, no, 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 this is our domain. We're not letting you up here. Z-Dog now has to do it all alone. This is a huge game for Z-Dog right now. They're trying to break their way into that top 7, remember, as well. So much of their direct competition are hip to hip with them. So Muzz has to try and go for height himself, looking to try and take the game for their own. Muzz and Sphinx, a healthy duo, but Sphinx goes down to the hands of Teeny. They are an unstoppable force right now.
Hey, Muzz can still do this. They almost have the chop right there. Shark and Teeny are out of shields here. They're just healing. If there's one player that could have did something big, it would have been Muzz, but in the end, Shark and Teeny, I mean, at this point, have just really showed us what they are all about. The 3-peat back to back to back. You know, I thought Peter Botafoyo just had the map on lock, and then you just got these boys playing so well.
It's just unbelievable. Every single time you just think, yeah, surely now, right? They're going to have to settle for a second or a third, but they don't. They do not settle for those positions. They want those wins. They want to show the lobby, and I think even...
Here's Muzz, here's Sphinx's perspective. Shark and Teeny, of course, dominated. We'll get to hear from their POV. I don't expect much, but we might get a little something here.
Mana. 100. Dead. Dead.
Nice.
4 build. 0 build.
20,
0 build.
20. Yeah, 5 builds. Take. You're healthy, you're healthy.
Wait. 1 P.
Not a good job, not a congrats, not a well played, not anything.
Radio silence.
I don't think he blinked. It's crazy.
It's a fun game to play at home. When they win the next game, what are they going to say, if anything?
Over, under, on. Just stone cold expressions at this point. I mean, the tournament might be over. They're going to be in first. They might just walk out and ignore Zeke's interview altogether. We'll just see. Well, we're just having fun here. You can see the expressions on players, the game planning. For some, I think they feel like, hey, at least we're not going to get our keys crushed here. They'll start looking towards a survival day. For others, it's like, what can we do to not
looking at Bugha and Braids, the World Cup champion. I know I mentioned like Epic Well, how long he's had been and his tenure is. Bugha won the World Cup. He qualified in the last game of his qualifiers just to make it here. And why not have a little repeat today?
Of course, I think we were also excited to see him playing here on this stage. I'll be honest though, I did walk past them. They just sat to the right of us. I looked at Braids. I said, "Are things going thumbs up, middle, down?" And he looked at me and he said, "It's a thumbs down right now." So it's gonna have to be better in this last game. And of course, they're one of those teams sitting just outside of being able to qualify in that top 7, right? They need a big last game here if they're gonna have to make it happen. You think they can do it?
I think they can. There is a little bit of a gap as well. It's not going to be easy, just like outplays your opponent. I do think they need to get a couple of eliminations throughout the course of their game while placing over their opponents by a decent margin. But
look, on top of them, you have to look at Izzy and Nosif, right? A team that had probably a hotter start to the day. Of course, they had all the fans in here really cheering for them, really impressed with them. I obviously am a big fan of these guys, you know, repping from EU. I know a lot of the EU fans are watching them and hoping for them to put in a good performance. Unfortunately, again, it's just sort of slowed down a bit. I think they really need a big push here in this final game.
yeah, I think for Izzy and Nosif, you know, when they're flying under the radar and people don't necessarily realize they're in the lobby or playing as well as they do, they perform phenomenally. But in a reload tournament like this, where you almost literally have to take out your competition in order to qualify, in order to win the finals as well, it just makes them a little bit more noticeable. They kind of put a target on their back by playing so well and coincidentally. So I do think they're kind of in the same boat as Bugha and Braids. They have all the potential in the world, but they just might need to pick up eliminations to close the gap.
I think the thing that gives me a bit of confidence for Izzy and Nosif is in EU, a lot of the time they have had these late game resurgences, right? Where you get to a tournament, the back end of things, you think, oh, are they in it? Are they out? Are they in? Are they out? And they just roll through in that last game and really put on the show. And I think the great thing is here, obviously they have these amazing fans. I feel like the energy though from the fans, they need a bit more of that energy. Are there still any Izzy and Nosif fans in here? Any, make some noise. All right, I see some people.
Okay, I hear a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, no, okay. So again, that's the type of energy they need. I think it's been so beautiful to see. Even when they're not, you know, on one of these French orgs like a Vitality or Gentlemates, I'm seeing so many of those fans just grouping around those guys and giving them that support.
Yeah, honestly, I just want to see them play like they have nothing to lose. Because in essence, they almost do have nothing to lose because they're so high up, it's impossible for them to get into the bottom 3. So why not just put it all on the table, leave no regrets behind, and hopefully make it directly to finals so you have a break.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to this. So look, Paris, if you're ready for this last game, make some noise! Let's send it to the casters.
They are ready, as are we here on the casting booth. We've got one more game here of Group A, the first day. So many storylines here to pick up on, so many teams that are fighting for their position, whether that's to break into that top 7, whether they're maybe an OCE team like Z-Dog and Goofy looking to try and put their region on the map. As you can see in the top 10 right now, there are opportunities. Sure it's not that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're holding down the ship here. You see the story. The stage has been set, and we are going into match 10 here shortly. This group stage, though, Minnie, I just gotta ask you, it definitely set up for our expectations. The teams we thought that were, you know, looking dominant, clearly, right, are now starting to show us they've just kind of taken this all away.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much of that dominance from some of our top teams, which we expected. And then you get some of our teams that maybe we didn't expect to do as well. Z-Dog, Goofy, just on that cusp of that top 7. What a performance they've been putting in today. Now is where it really matters. And I think this is the sort of moments in these final games when the pressure is on. This is where legacies are born. This is where the start of some of these players' stories can be forged. And for some of our top teams, for some of our big players, this could be where it all gets real.
And there's a lot of teams that might have it. And Vico obviously enjoying the moment, trying to live in it. This guy's just something else. Ever since he won that championship at the Summit, he's just really starting to blossom here. You'll love to see it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to wait much longer. We're getting into the final match of the evening here of the Fortnite Reload Championship here at the EWC 2026. This has been some incredible top-tier Fortnite. This is only the beginning for what's to come. Vico here to kick things off from dancing straight into the action.
Well, the last time Vico was dancing on LAN, he won it. So if your teams, you got to be scared of him. Of course, it's not going to be done today. The job's not done. Still got Saturday's finals, of course, to do that. And Seed does go down. Peterbot and Shark, not the two players you want on the either side of your wall. Is Shark going to dance here? Give us an emote. It's Peterbot. It's Peterbot.
Yeah, it's worse than that. He just stopped moving, looked at him, said, I don't need an emote for you to know what is happening. There from Peterbot. He's also having a good time here, clearly. Pop Epic Whale have some problems to potentially work with. Vico and Malibuco are in a fight right now up against, of course, Peterbot there. The Slurpy Swamp remaining extremely active at this point.
Peterbot, Koyo. Now Poyo in an awkward situation. It's been a little bit of fall damage today. We've had a few fall damage situations.
Saw that rocket launcher come out, and I just thought of Teeny again. I'm like, don't do it, buddy. He hasn't had a good hit record here on stream today. But wait a second, Malibuca pushing in. Little pump fake on the edit there. Ooh, he goes down. Look how fast Peterbot turned around. That's the respect, and Malibuca's hunting. This is your child, son. Oh my gosh! And he takes them down. Peterbot and Poyo are officially your first team to fall. I think that's like a record for them, being the first team to ever fall in a competition, probably ever, right? That just doesn't happen very often.
Crazy. Absolutely. Can get respawned.
Yeah, you know, they just get to live to see another day here, fight another day. Goofy just playing in the cone now. This is a really desperate situation to be in as well. Really consider what's happening here. He is down to just a shock in here. You know, again, for them at this point, the last game here, the lead being so far ahead, they just don't want to get sent down and out to the key crush. It's going to take place after this. I was gonna call it a ceremony, but is it even a ceremony to watch your keys get crushed?
It's a funeral.
It's bad. It can be very bad. Nalu and Reino had that to deal with as well. This is the situation they're in. These are the cards they've been dealt. They haven't been able to perform up to par, and now they're having to deal with just trying to survive at this point.
Kari and Hammy. A team that you expect a lot from on land. This is a situation that we saw Malabuka get himself into, an absolute gift. Not only 4 damage, but it's Peterbot, of course, takes down Poyo. Yeah, he took down Poyo as well. Definitely, it could be a 1v3, you could call that if you want. Lovely work from Malabuka there. That's what he does. Puga as well. Why not? Make it 4. That's what he does.
That's a highlight. That's definitely
that's a
a
highlight.
reel in its own. Well, we put that one together for you real quick in case you missed it. BH in, Edson though, 170 here. Again, teams that are very much on the bubble right now that just have to outperform, outpace that remaining competition, as anything can happen. Clearly, with top teams falling, that means bottom teams have a chance to jump up. So anything really can happen. You got to be very careful with your tournament position.
Dangerous though, look at this. Teeny, Mythic in hand. Mythic drum gun, no less. Alex down below. Alex needs to stay inside of this tournament. Remember, they are very much last place at the moment, and that's not going to help as Alex does go down. Had to try and find some white somewhere in the vicinity. Reckless trying to keep his team alive as well. The difficulty for Alex and Reckless, they don't just need to stay in the game, they need a good game here as well. So it's going to be difficult for them to make it happen, but you know, if there's any time to do it, the time is now.
Yeah, everyone's got a different story. Epic Whale Pump. Just rough tournament overall, but again, this map has proved to be at least marginally better for them.
Yeah.
But they need to do more. Last game, they got that little bit of an end game, got a sample of it. They need to see Pump in Epic Whale do it one more time in order to kind of leapfrog their way out of the Key Crush.
A big win here. Levin spoke about it going into this. They have had these big games going into last games over on EU. They've been able to clutch up. Can they do it on land when the pressure's on? The crowd's looking at them. The country are looking at them as well in this lobby. Can they do it?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, anything can happen at this point. If Cammy and Hari get caught out of positioning, out of place, Romero and Lua get taken down, Chino or Pablo fall early, you know, all of a sudden now, you know, placement start to get, you know, looked at here. And then you have someone like Shark and Teeny, who, by the way, are continuing to run through the lobby. Things are going to be ending here tonight on Fort Crumpet. We're going to have a highly congested zone as, of course, everything goes that way. Look at what's happening here, though. Shark and Teeny had 12 eliminations, doing what other lobbies, other players in the lobby need to get done. But here's Vico. Little spam crouch for Shark there in the end. Malabuka, though, still on the hunt as well. I was going to say, for all I know, Teeny might just put his hands up and say, catch me if you can. You can't. Because there's that far ahead. As they've got this all but secured. But still, 7 elims. They're playing very well.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Teeny's ready. think he owns. 7 team from the Brazilian region, and a team that are defying expectations right now.
No.
Another huge shot from Romero, but look who it's on, Monster. It's on to Alex.
Alex is definitely wishing he could go back in time, and that was a little bit of greed and temptation. He was sitting on those keg barrels there, trying. At this point, as much as they love Vico, but Epic Whale still alive. Pump still alive. The hope is real. Nalu and Rainy have slipped down into that key crushing position. Can they hold out? It is a dangerously close tournament for some at the bottom.
Well, so many of our bottom teams have been going out early today. Right now, every single duo inside of that bottom 10 are still in the game. They are fighting. They are holding out. Teams like Moda right now, only down to a solo. They need to try and hold out this position right there into that mid-ground sort of section of the leaderboard. They'll be happy. Moda does eventually fall, as Rue and Moda should have solidified their spot here into the survival stage. Hari and Cammy looking to try and find their way into that top 7, of course, as well, just in. Goofy and Z-Dog up on high. Can they take this final game right here? Can they break into that top 7? Or did Hari do just about enough? Another team on the tails as well. It's Volko, it's Cringe. They're a team just outside of that top 7. They're a team that need to make it happen as well.
What's wild is, do the math, y'all. It's worth 60 points for the win. It is in reach here. Anyone...
contention to stay in the competition. Goofy and Z-Dog maintaining this height despite having no builds. So many of our top height teams are out. This is theirs for the taking. Booga looking for it as well. Z-Dog will fall. Goofy will go down. No materials, has to try and find something here.
And just like that, it's Booga. Braids who's on top. I don't know if they have the map to do this, but they're at 7 eliminations and counting here. 2 players remaining, standing between them. Mofu and Toma out-survive, outpace Nalu and Rainy to make sure they don't get their keys crossed and they live to fight another day. Meanwhile, Booga and Braids are looking to put a ribbon on this one here.
Survival stage on Friday. When the times were looking so tough for the Monster, they rose to the occasion and they won the match.
You see there, Toma and Mofu had to just really soak it in for a second. The awkward handshakes, the celebration, they're just thinking to themselves, did we do it? We surely did there, because that win was gonna save their tournament, and what a sigh of relief. But you know what? It's also a newfound confidence.
Yeah, that's going to be huge for them, of course. Now, you know, the last game they're going to play now going into the survival stage is going to be that huge win. It's going to give them that boost of confidence. I think what we saw right there was a lot of our top teams going down, so it opened the door for teams like Z-Dog, for teams like Goofy to try and take height. They knew they needed to. I think Hari did so well to clutch there as a solo. So many of our teams that needed to perform when the pressure was on, they did just that. And that, you can just see what it means to them. You can see what this is about. And for those lads, they're still in the competition. And I think they were in that bottom 3, weren't they? They were just sort of teetering on that area, right?
Right there, and then you had Nalu inching his way up. It literally came back and forth between those 2 teams. It really could have went either way. And it's crazy because they're both from the same region as well. So it's like, you know, that regional clash there. Well, they got to be proud of that performance there. Fun games, great sigh of relief here. You can see the emotes coming out, just looking to celebrate, throwing up signs to the fans. What a game. What is group stage 1? We have so many more days of this ahead of us.
I was going to say, you know the best part about this? We get to run it back tomorrow. We got Group B. We got this level of competition again and again. You can't say they didn't give it a good go.
The difference, they had so many more elimination points worth, but it's the placement points that held them back. Z-Dog and Goofy are going to be a dominant team to look out for. You know, in the end, you have to really respect that performance. But here's your major upsets, Raising and Nalu. Epic will pump. Alex and Reckless, unfortunately, will be getting their keys crushed, and their tournament comes to a complete end here at the group stage end.
It's just so tough for them. Unfortunately for teams like Alex Reckless, the teams like Epic Will Pump, they could never really get the engine going. We didn't see the best from them throughout the entire day. And they tried. You saw them trying different strategies, but even right there in that last game, I mentioned it going into it, we need more from the fraggers. Pump couldn't quite carry the team.
Thanks to Jacob PR and Taco there. And now we get to hit the floor with Barney.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Aurora Gaming! What? a performance. There's lots of noise being made. Welcome, Shark and Teeny. Congratulations, what an amazing day. Now, how does it feel to not only win today, to claim the top spot in Group A, but to dominate it?
I mean, it was easy. We expected to win, so...
The expectation was there. Shark, I have a feeling that, you know, you were vibing from Boop's energy today. Is that right? I feel like you were vibing off Boop's energy today.
Yeah, low key.
Low key, I like it. Okay, gentlemen, we're here. It's honest and it's necessary. Congratulations once again to Shark and Teeny from Aurora Gaming. We're going to send it to the studio to round out day one and get ready for Group B tomorrow.
Thank you, Barney, for that riveting segment. They're crushing those keys. But we got, Aurora Gaming, congratulations. Shark and Teeny, you guys said you were expected to. Kelly, oh, it happened. Reject was able to get out of the bottom three.
They were in the bottom three pretty much the entire day there. And honestly, we talked about it at the start of two games ago, that even if you're in the bottom, all you need is one good game and a bunch of eliminations. But could I ever have imagined that that would have been a victory royale against some of the biggest names in EU and NA? I don't know if any of us could have predicted that, Vivid.
No, absolutely not. And sometimes when we're kind of up here, you know, we talk about these teams, it's like, yeah, they can have one good game to kind of clinch that qualification into the survivals.
To the players who are going home, but I think the group that we have going through to Survival Day is a strong group.
And there we have the top 7 that are going to be going to the finals. For anybody that's